Great, welcome back everybody. It is a beautiful day here in the Midwest. I am very happy that it's not icy anymore. It was icy 2 days ago, and now it's about 60 something degrees. So if you ever want to, have basically a roll of the dice, a fixed dice roll of how the weather's gonna be, move to the Midwest, I promise. So anyway, here we are at the final review. We have added this now as a third review period in Beyond Chaos, like we did in T Edition. So, that being said, let's go ahead and go over the characters. And I'm just gonna be scattershot here. There's no particular order, just let me remind you that we rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being totally useless, and 10 being absolutely essential to our team. So, let's get started. So let's go ahead and just start with the man of the hour, Slash, who proved himself last episode and became the hero. I had storylines in my head ready, whether he decided to suplex us or the enemy, so there is an alternate dimension out there where he suplexed Tata, and he became the true villain. But no, he's the hero. Slash is actually, become the Sagat. He left Shadaloo, and now it's all about just the rematch with Ryu, or Aghanim in this case, I guess, if that is who our villain really is. But anyway, so Slash. The thing about Slash is, I haven't gone and leveled him all up yet, but he has a magic command, but it's severely lacking, right? He can do Berserk and Haste too, I realized just recently, which is nice. That could be really, really helpful with the Haste 2 in the final battle with Kefka. And Zone Seek gave him Ice 3 and Muddle. His speed is going to be ridiculous by the time. Either we're going to do either speed or HP. We might do half and half, I don't know. But yeah, his speed, I think really when it comes to stats, speed, any speed stat higher than like 40 something is pointless. Like it's diminishing returns after that. But so we'll probably level him up a little bit with Zone Seek, and then we'll switch over to Madwin to just get him max HP that he can get. So Golem Suplex has been wildly useless this whole game, sadly enough. Slash himself has been mostly useless. Golem helped in a couple of instances, but really you don't need Golem. You don't really need Espers outside of learning stuff from them in vanilla Final Fantasy VI, which Beyond Chaos is based upon. Sometimes they come in handy, but it's quite rare. And his equipment, I mean, the spears and stuff, I didn't go and buy a new spear for him yet, which I will be doing, because there are a couple that he can equip if we purchase them. He can equip a Paladin Shield, which is nice, but the Trident is making him reverse cures. It's his best weapon right now. We're not using it. So, yeah, what we're going to do with him is I'm thinking really hard about whether or not to just merit award him for the final battle. Give him a ribbon and a merit award, and just give him good stuff to equip. Yeah, like the Phoenix Sword, a sword, Slash using a sword. What a novel idea, right? But we're gonna see about that. I'll do some testing while I'm grinding, but for right now, for where he is, he's one of our weakest characters, I would say. I'd only put him at about a 3 as a character. Sorry Slash, I think if you would have been the villain, you might have been stronger, but you're a good guy, and therefore we have to be a little more conservative with our powers, right? Alright, so let's talk about Janus. Janus, our chaos has only kind of been useful, So let's see. Yeah. Our Chaos has been throwing some good stuff here and there, but it's not consistent enough. Any R skill that isn't a short list is kind of not crazy useful, unless it's something like Yuffie's R or W rare or R rare or stuff that just has nothing but good attacks. Our Chaos being every single skill in the game means you're going to hit some duds now and then. However, and we never used Harvester, as far as I remember, Harvester just heals status effects, which, whatever. The only true harvest is an imp harvest. But anyway, his magic is good though, because he's got Cure 3, and he's also got Pearl down here, which isn't bad. for some damage. And Seraphim is giving him stamina, which is kind of a useless stat, sadly enough. But, yeah, he's got a decent magic list just for healing. And he can equip some decent stuff like the Phoenix and things like that. So, and the Crystal Shield is getting him Va-Abs, which is the W casted Vanish and Absolute Zero, which we found some use for, but not much. He's still one of our best characters just because of Cure 3, and simply because of Cure 3, I would probably put him at like a 7 as far as utility goes. So there you go, there's Janus. Okay, Gino, since he's standing right here. So Gino, yeah, he was the one who broke the seed open when we got him in the World of Balance in Mog Spot. Having Shoat Crusader that only targets the enemy team is really, really useful. We did have some hiccups with it, obviously, when you're back attacked or something like that, or when you cast it on an enemy that suddenly changes its condition, like a jumper, and now it's going to miss them, but it's going to hit us, you know. So, Shoat Crusader, Shoat did some work every now and then. It would just petrify stuff, and Crusader wouldn't even have to jump in, but for the most part, we've been doing damage with Crusader. He's also got X Magic, which his magic list isn't fantastic, but he is able to use Cure 3 as well, because he got that same Esper, which is nice. He can actually equip a lot of Espers. Torado, Fenrir, Bismarck. We'll probably end up leveling him with Fenrir just for the HP. But yeah, he's doing pretty good. And he's basically been our main damage dealer all game. So just because of Shoat Crusader and just because of Gino, I probably have to put him at least at a 9. Because, I mean, Crusader is sort of scattershot sometimes, and his magic list has Cure 3 in it. And pretty much nothing else. So yeah, I gotta kind of put him under a 10, but he's really, really good. And I believe, no, he cannot equip a Paladin Shield, so that's a point against him too. But yeah, he's a 9. He's definitely a 9. Alright, let's go downstairs here. Cyrax, let's get you out of the way because you are absolutely terrible. Cyrax is probably our worst character. Jump and Show Mud, Shockwave Muddle, and Jump and Armis and all. He's just terrible character. Not good at all. No good weapons to equip. He can't even equip a Paladin Shield. He's pretty bad. No magic commands, so no magic. And even if he could have a magic command, he's got Corinne, which teaches absolutely jack crap. The only thing he's going to be good at is speed once he's leveled. He's probably going to be one that we actually leave on the airship, sadly enough. I'm sorry, Cyrax. You're really good at Mortal Kombat, but you can't hack it here in the world of Beyond Chaos, buddy. You are our one, sadly enough. But thanks for playing. Maybe in a later seed. Okay, Tingle. So, Tingle terrifies me. Number one. Secondly, he has Mimic, so he could be helpful in the final dungeon. I still have not decided who else I'm leaving on the airship. I know it's Cyrax at least. His magic power is pretty up there, but no Espers, sadly. No magic. So, he's got a totally useless magic command. But he has Mimic, so, again, Mimic makes him into a copy of our best character, since he just mimics whatever the last person did. So he is definitely... He's probably just sticking at a 5, because Mimic makes him good, but nothing else really does. He can equip the swords again. Scimitar he's been kind of kicking butt with when we had him. But yeah, dude, not a character I'm going to smack a Paladin Shield on. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, I'd say he's a 5. Alright, Riku. Gotta put Riku on the team and talk about her. So, with Riku, she was bad for most of the game. Not really bad, just not great. Our Wild has some cool stuff in it, of course, that we talked about in the last review. Question Mark Ramu slowly lost utility, as most single-element Esper spells do, and single-element spells in general do, but the fact she can cast it a lot actually helps. What really put her over the edge is that she can equip Bahamut and Crusader. And even Madwin, too. So she's got this huge magic list of good stuff, right? Meteor, Merton, Haste 2. Just those 3 things are amazing. And her magic power is 34, so middling, not bad. She's doing pretty good damage with both Merton and Meteor. So she actually got our best spells that we have in the game in our magic list. So she turned out to be pretty dang good. Of course, she can't equip very good stuff here. She is a Paladin Shield candidate, but I don't think that's going to happen for her, despite how good her spells are. And yeah, she's just here, really. But she is, like I said, our best mage in the magic command territory. So I would definitely put her at least, I'd think she's an 8, just because she got those spells, man. Before that, she was not even on my radar, but having those spells, yeah, she's an 8. Excuse me, Cyrax, I know you're mad that I rated you a 1, but... And Tata, okay, so Tata has been an up and down character for me. I liked using her, then I didn't like using her, then I did like using her, but she's got the fixed dice now, which is a nice item. It really just, it's random as hell, of course, so, I mean, that's the problem. Paladin Shield's pretty good for her, mostly because she has some magic that we can use. She's been mostly making use of X Zone, and she's got cure spells, which are few and far between in this seed. As far as Espers go, she can equip a lot of them. We're probably not going to Carbuncle her because I'm pretty sure her base magic power, yeah, it's 40. There's no reason to get much higher than that. We'll probably do Ifrit for speed a little bit and then Stray for MP most likely, because she's not going to get a anything reducing MP cost for the final fight. She's definitely coming with us into the tower, but yeah, she's just kind of all over the place. I like her as a character, but she's never really been totally solid, but she's never really been bad either. So, yeah, I'd probably put her, just having the dice, just having the fixed dice puts her at probably a 7. I'd put her at a 7 for that, and having a couple of cure spells really, really helps. So, alright, so, Cloud. We have barely used this kid. I still think it's really weird that his sprite is Little Kid Cloud and his portrait is Adolescent Cloud, but whatever. He's got R Water, W Magic, and Item. He's pretty bad, if I'm being real with you. R Water, again, is a single element. It does hit, like, full groups, which is nice, because all water spells always are AoE. W Magic's too random to count on. He, again, can equip swords and stuff, that's good. He cannot equip any Espers, though. So, Cloud is way down there, actually. He's probably only barely above Cyrax. I'd put him at a 2. If I could, I'd put him at like a 1.5. He's really not good. He might be staying behind. He might be the one staying behind with Cyrax. I don't know yet. But there is another candidate for that. What's up, Scott? So here's the thing about Scott, right? We haven't really tested whether or not it's all that good for him, but we have all of the stuff to make him into an Imp Warrior, which is mostly what he can equip. But we have to be able to turn him into an Imp, number 1. And yeah, dude, I don't even know how well it's gonna do for him. So we're gonna use Riku and turn him into an Imp, who is actually Katerin. From previous seeds, Dwayne's girlfriend. So he does turn into a cooler character than he is, in my opinion, when you turn him into an Imp. But whether or not that really helps him do good damage with all of this stuff on him, we'll have to see. But for now, just base Scott, like, without anything on him and with no tricks. I mean, dude, question mark slide sucks. It only hits grounded enemies. It's multiple casts. His magic power is sick, but he can't use any magic. Corinne Discord regens the enemy and then discords the enemy, regens us, and discords us. It's not great. So he got the short end of the stick on this. He can equip all these Espers that have pretty good stuff on them. Well, at least Golem does with Haste 2 and Reflect, but he can't use them, so who cares? So right now, he's way down there too. He's tied with Cloud at a 2. If he didn't get that imp stuff, he'd probably be a 1, and I don't even know if that's gonna save him. But yeah, there you have it there. Let's see. Whoop, 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 whoop. Excuse me. Sorry, pardon me. Gino? Dude, really? Okay, Vargas. Poor Vargas, man. So for whatever reason, the Berserker can't learn spells. He almost saved us by learning Life 3 for the Fanatics Tower, but he can't get magic points. Life 2, level plus 50 would have been nice for leveling him. Stamina is whatever, but yeah, he doesn't have any way to learn magic. He is our Berserker. He is a jump Berserker, which he could end up being pretty good still. Like, Rage Ring him and, you know, have him jump and stuff. He could be alright, because typically the Berserker ends up being good, whether you like it or not, unless they have a crap command that they rolled. I am happy to see that he jumps instead of just having fight. That's nice. But other than that, yeah, he's using all this same crap that Riku uses, and it's not good for attacking with anyway. But yeah, Vargas, on the one hand, is not good, but on the other hand is the Berserker and will probably become good. I'm going to give him at least a 6. Okay, excuse me. Locke, what's up, buddy? Alright, so Locke. Locke's really freaking good. So he has all the best stuff. You know what I should do? Instead of Locke, we need to talk to Cidgo first. Because we need to cover Cidgo before we get to Locke for Locke to make sense with his rating. So Cidgo has Lore. He also has Slash, which can turn into our water. We've never really used that much. Lore, however, he's got some really good stuff in. He's got the Pearl Wind from, because Deleta has a skill for Pearl Wind. And he got that, and we have used that pretty much since we got to the World of Ruin for healing everyone. And it's the best heal spell we've got over Cure 3. And then, of course, he's got Grand Train because Janus threw it out with his Archaeos skill, and we learned it. So Cidgo's going to be throwing some damage down too. He is just a good character in general. He has been the MVP of the seed, if you ask me. I really didn't like his sprite in T Edition when I saw it, and I really didn't like it that it popped up in this one, but it grew on me, dude. I love him. So yeah, Cidgo is definitely, I would say, just because of Pearl Wind and Grand Train, he's probably a 9. I'm only making him a 9 because someone else is a 10. But yeah, Pearl Wind, Grand Train, just good stuff, man. So we're probably going to slap the Shiva on him when we're leveling him just to get him as much HP as possible. Giving him magic power could help with Grand Train, but really he's going to be Pearl Winding us in the final battle if he makes it, so that isn't based on magic power, so. Alright. So let's get Deleta, wherever he be. Excuse me, Deleta. Alright, so Deleta. Deleta had that Pearl Fire, which is Pearl Wind Fire 3, which was okay for fighting undead stuff because it Pearl Winds them first and does damage, and then Fire 3 does damage too, but when you Pearl Wind the enemy, it heals him for how much HP he has, and he has a lot of HP. So it was sort of useful early on, but then he got Bolt 2 was basically what he was doing for damage for most of the game. He's got Imp, X-Zone. He doesn't really have much. He's just kind of a dude. So he was mostly doing damage with his weapons, which up until now was the Swordbreaker, and the Striker now, I guess, would be pretty good too. He can equip Paladin Shield. He's a little higher level than everybody else, just like Tata is, because he was used to uncurse one of those Paladin Shields. So his stats aren't that great. As far as Espers, he's got Palador, which can be helpful actually to use in battle, which we did a couple of times, and it's given him speed +2. Siren has given him HP, which, again, having a lot of HP is really helpful. So that might be what we do when we level him. We'll probably do speed a little bit as well. But Deleta is probably middling at a 5 at best, just like Tingle. Actually, no, Tingle was higher than that, wasn't he? I would put Deleta probably to 4. I'd say he's not that great. He's a character, let's just put it that way. He's one that we can use, but just not the one that we would use all the time. Alright, Yuffie. Yuffie. She has been up and down more than Tata for whether or not I want her on the team. She equips some good stuff as well. She cannot equip a Paladin Shield, if I remember correctly. No, she definitely cannot. But her stats are even out. W rare gets Goner sometimes, and Medio, and really good stuff like that. Our Earth we actually made use of for a little bit in the Ancient Castle, and that was kind of fun. She doesn't have a magic command, but W rare, like I said, if it rolls right, it's really, really good, and it's a short list of really good spells. So Yuffie, man, she's this seed has a lot of these super random characters. Nobody, like only a couple that are really over the top. I would say that Yuffie is, I'd say she's a 6, because it's random, but it's not over the top random. So yeah, she's not bad. It definitely made me like her as a character more. That I got to use her in Beyond Chaos and see her throwing Goners all the time. So, right on with you, Yuffie. I like to use you on my team, but you are not the best. And as far as Espers, you guessed it. Alright. So, let's see. Where is Locke? What's up, buddy? So, this rarely happens, but our Mime is our 10. So the reason being, we can actually make him a good character. The other characters have shortcomings and really bad things about them that make their good parts not as good. However, we can take everything and put it on him. This is just like every Mime in Beyond Chaos, but for some reason, this seed produced so many bad commands that being able to just localize some good ones on one character is very, very good. So he has lore, and he's got Show Crusader, and he's got item. He can also put on magic if we need him to, but this seems good right now. So he has access to Cidgo's Pearlwind for potentially even more, because he has higher HP. I think he has higher HP anyway. If he doesn't, he's got close enough. And Grand Train, and he's got about the same magic power when he's equipped and everything as Cidgo does for throwing Grand Trains. And he's got Mimic, so he can mimic stuff for free too. And yeah, he's just really, really good. I haven't run into a situation where I was sad to have him on my team, or I thought maybe we should replace him with someone else. He's just very, very good. Kind of sad that we got a sort of vanilla sprite for our Mime, but either way, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's awesome. So yeah. Of course, can't equip Espers, so he's going off of base stats alone, which aren't terrible. But yeah, he's definitely our 10, and for good reason. So, that is everybody. Let me talk about the seed, even though I've talked about it a little bit already in the last episode and elsewhere. So the thing about the seed is we have gotten a lot of kind of useless commands, and we've also fought a lot of stuff that was pretty pushovery to beat. So as far as like theming throughout this seed, it hasn't been that interesting, which can happen sometimes. It happened in the last one too with the Dew virus. You know, it depends on what characters you get. I guess obviously it also depends on how quick-witted I am in coming up with a story and stuff, based on those characters. But yeah, I mean, this one was kind of off the cuff, and mostly we were just reacting to what was going on in the game rather than an overarching story, even though we did have a resolution and it was kind of cool. So as far as that goes, whatever. But what I mean by fighting stuff that was kind of pushovery is I didn't really run into much trouble in this run at all. This is one that I could have, like, I mean, there were a couple of times that we got wrecked early on, actually, but this is one that if I would have played it like carefully, I might have beaten this as a permadeath, which I have not tried yet. I've never tried a Beyond Chaos permadeath because it's scary, but I'm working my way towards that eventually. But this is one I probably could have won if I really thought about it. But regardless of that, yeah, it's fun though. Beyond Chaos is always fun, even if the seed is a little lackluster. It's FF6. It's crazy. You get all these crazy sprites, and you just get to do cool stuff. But regardless of that, that's the end of the final review. I would give the seed overall rating. I'd probably put it right in the middle, because that's where most of everything has been. This seed is definitely a 5. But thanks for everybody sticking around and watching this one. And we're heading into Kefka's Tower next episode. And like I said in the last episode, if you've never seen a randomized Kefka's Tower in Beyond Chaos, just get ready, because it's nutballs. So thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.